first job is to release these parts. So the first thing I'm going to do is just mark around the edge. Once mark around the edge, make sure it's a permanent pen of some sort, because of the sanding in the water you don't want to wash away. It's not crucial because when you do sand these, you'll notice that the surrounding plastic will thin and eventually come away of its own accord. So what we do is cut these out to a more manageable size. So what I want to do next is to trim this down even further. I want to leave about a couple of millimetres around the edge, a lip. The more you leave, the more sanding you've got. So, nice thing about this stuff, you only have to score it really. Gently does it around the shape. I'm manhandling this quite roughly, but that's just experience. Just take a bit of care if it's the first time for you, especially with cutting out lightly and gently. Get the rough idea? Trim a bit more off. Seems fairly level. There's no, sometimes with Vacforms you can have a bit of a. So there we are, trimmed as close as I want it to be. Now we'll get onto the messy stage. I've got 120 grit here. As coarse as I want it to be. Use masking tape to tape two sheets together because of the size of the part we're sanding. You can see there. Now what I usually do is I'll wet the board. Which should act like glue. Next thing, a cup of water to hand, I guarantee sometimes it'll end up all over the place because I'll knock it. Our part. Now, this is where it's time consuming and you've got to be careful. You're going to have the right amount of pressure at either end, so keeping it level. You don't want to be doing this, otherwise you're going to end up with the sanded in the middle and nothing at the end. You want to keep the pressure as evenly as possible. I don't know if you can see, it's starting to flake off. So a few more goes. So you can see where we're getting there. Right, clean this up so I'm going to better see it, and leave this on till this is clean. I've checked. Right, clean that up, I'm happy with that. And I'll clean the sandpaper up to be used again, so you can see all the bits. The 2mm bleed we gave it are all off now. Tidy up and we'll have a look at this part cleaned up. So I've cleaned up and I've washed the sandpaper. We can use that again. Just take this tape off. Let that dry, let it dry straight, or flat should I say. So keep it in a safe place. So from this to this, taking about less than 10 minutes, maybe 6 minutes it took. Just a bit of care and check every now and then, and the most crucial thing is even pressure. Don't go at it like a rabbit, gently does it. Take your time over it, because if you sand more off, you're just going to make more work for yourself. So every couple of minutes just check, and you can see the edge is getting thinner, and also you can see where perhaps areas need a bit more sanding, so you can change the pressure on that area slightly and keep checking. That's the golden rule, keep checking. So now we've done one, just got to get on with the other bits. Thankfully we don't have wings to do, they are a nightmare. So we'll get on with the rest of the parts. So there's all our parts cut out. I'll trim this parts here, and then I'll stick that like that, like that, and then once they're set, then we can just concentrate on just sticking the fuselage as 2 pieces rather than 4. So you can see I've added the other Vacform part, and you can also see clearly I filled in the windows and the windscreen with squadron putty. I was going to use my own plastic mix, but 2 things dissuaded me. It's white, and this is sets a harder plastic than this cheaper plastic. Also, I thought of adding a colour to this so I could see what I'd filled in. I might try that sometime. So I've sanded it, and I can still feel there's imperfections there, but I'll leave for now until I put the first coat of primer on and I can see exactly what we're looking at. What I should have done is cut that out as a strip and then replaced it with a brand new piece of plastic card. That's the best way to do. I filled in the windscreen, I've preliminarily sanded it, and I won't sand it properly till I get the other side of the fuselage on. We get supplied 3 frames. I've just cut those out and popped them out. Don't need to sand them. I mean, sand round the shape, but just score them out. I won't be using these. I use another method. The reason why I don't use these, even though they show you on the instructions exactly where to put these 3 frames, these aren't symmetrical. They're not perfect, and even though they give you a vertical line, any error on that and you could end up with a slight distortion. And I say could. I use another method, and we'll get to that later on. So those will be binned. But before we get to that, you need to take out the nose undercarriage doors and fit the resin piece in. And also, more importantly, we need to put plastic card all the way along this edge. Peg these into position. It'll be far easier to do that. You don't want to make these strips too thick, otherwise you'll distort the shape at the top here. So making sure we've got a 50-50 coverage. We can add glue. So you see the process? and we do this all the way around. The hardest bit will be the nose because it's quite shallow there, but as long as you do as much as you can, but it is essential you cover the whole of the fuselage. So I'll get on with that.